Welcome back to World Wrestlers History, where legends never fade, and every story reminds us why we fell in love with wrestling. Last time, we witnessed the rise of Adam Edge Copeland, the small-town Canadian kid who defied the odds to reach WWE glory. We saw him dominate the tag team division with Christian, win the King of the Ring, and overcome a neck injury that nearly ended his career. But in 2005, something inside him changed forever. The hunger for gold became an obsession, and that obsession gave birth to the most ruthless, cunning, and controversial version of Edge the world had ever seen. This, my friends, is the Rated R era. When Edge returned from injury, he wasn't just fighting opponents, he was fighting time. He had spent years being called the workhorse, the guy who gave everything but never stood on top of the mountain. That label burned inside him. He was tired of being almost. He wanted to be champion. And with the Money in the Bank briefcase in hand, he held the key to making that dream a reality. Throughout 2005, Edge teased cashing in the briefcase, keeping fans and champions on edge. But behind the scenes, his character began to change dramatically. His partnership with Lita became one of the most talked about storylines in WWE history. What began as a scripted betrayal turned into something much deeper, blending real-life controversy with on-screen drama. The crowd hated them together, but that was exactly the point. Edge and Lita embraced their villainous roles completely. They didn't just want booze, they wanted venom. Every time Edge walked down the ramp with his sly grin, fans showered him with hatred, and he loved every second of it. The Rated R superstar was officially born. He began calling himself that because, in his words, he wasn't PG, he wasn't family-friendly, he was raw, real, and unpredictable. He pushed boundaries that no one else dared to touch. From his suggestive promos to his wild attitude, Edge was no longer the underdog. He was the villain, the one who'd do anything for gold. The moment that would change his life forever came at New Year's Revolution 2006. John Cena had just survived an Elimination Chamber match, defending his WWE Championship in brutal fashion. He was bloodied, exhausted, and barely standing. As Cena tried to celebrate, Vince McMahon walked out and announced that someone had a briefcase to cash in. The crowd roared in confusion, and then it happened. Edge's music hit. With a cold smirk, he walked to the ring, briefcase in hand. The world knew what was coming, but they still couldn't believe it. Edge cashed in his Money in the Bank contract on the spot, speared Cena twice, and pinned him. 1, 2, 3. The Rated R superstar was finally the WWE champion. The crowd exploded in shock. Edge grabbed the title and raised it high, screaming into the night. After years of chasing his dream, he had finally reached the top. That moment marked a new era in WWE, the era of unpredictability. Edge had become the company's ultimate opportunist, willing to strike whenever his opponent was weakest. The next night on Raw, Edge and Lita celebrated with one of the most infamous segments in wrestling history, the live Rated R celebration. In true Edge fashion, it pushed boundaries and got everyone talking. Ratings soared. Love him or hate him, Edge had become the most talked about man in WWE. But fame didn't come without enemies. John Cena wasn't about to let his title slip away without a fight. Their rivalry quickly became one of the fiercest and most personal in modern WWE history. Cena represented everything clean and heroic, while Edge was the dirty, manipulative villain who would do whatever it took to win. The two clashed in an epic feud that defined a generation. Their matches were brutal, emotional, and unpredictable. Edge taunted Cena, humiliated his family, and even tossed his championship belt into a river just to get inside his head. At Royal Rumble 2006, Cena won the rematch and reclaimed the WWE Championship, but the war between them was far from over. Edge had tasted the top, and he wasn't going to let it slip away. He began feuding with Mick Foley, a hardcore legend who wanted to prove that Edge wasn't as tough as he claimed. That feud culminated in a bloody masterpiece at WrestleMania 22. In one of the most shocking moments in WrestleMania history, Edge speared Foley through a flaming table. The crowd lost their minds. The Rated R superstar had proven that he could not only win championships, he could also create moments that would live forever. That night cemented his legacy as more than just a villain. Edge had shown that he was willing to risk everything, even his body, to be remembered. After WrestleMania, his stock skyrocketed. WWE began to see him not just as a reliable performer, but as a true main event talent. He was no longer living in the shadows of others. He was the face of chaos. By the summer of 2006, Edge recaptured the WWE Championship by once again defeating John Cena, this time with Lita by his side. He had become a two-time champion, and he ruled Monday Night Raw with arrogance and flair. Every week, he and Lita mocked Cena, flaunted their power, and pushed the limits of entertainment. Edge was unstoppable. But Cena wasn't done. Their war reached its peak at Unforgiven 2006, in Edge's hometown of Toronto, inside a tables, ladders, and chairs match. It was Edge's match, the very match that made him famous. The crowd was behind their hometown hero, but in the end, Cena defeated Edge in one of the most unforgettable matches of the decade, delivering an attitude adjustment through two tables from the top of a ladder. The Rated R superstar had fallen, but only temporarily. After losing to Cena, Edge shifted his focus to reclaiming dominance by any means necessary. He joined forces with Randy Orton to form one of the most dangerous teams in WWE history, Rated RKO. Together, they were pure chaos. They attacked legends, destroyed DX, and claimed the World Tag Team Championships. Their chemistry was explosive. Two egos, one goal, to rule WWE. For months, they terrorized Raw, taking out everyone in their path. But like all powerful alliances, jealousy and pride eventually tore them apart. By 2007, Edge had moved to SmackDown and set his sights on the World Heavyweight Championship. In May that year, he seized another opportunity, cashing in his Money in the Bank contract on a weakened Undertaker after a brutal match. Once again, Edge proved that timing was everything. The Rated R superstar was now the World Heavyweight Champion. The SmackDown era belonged to him. Edge's time on SmackDown showcased his ability to adapt and evolve. He feuded with Batista, Kane, and even The Undertaker himself. His mind games, arrogance, and cunning made him one of the most hated champions of all time, and yet, fans couldn't look away. He was too good at what he did. His promos were sharp, his matches emotional, and his storytelling unmatched. Every time his music hit, you knew something unpredictable was about to happen. As his reign continued, Edge surrounded himself with backup, creating La Familia, a powerful alliance that included Vickie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, and Curt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Vickie, who was also SmackDown's general manager, became his on-screen love interest, adding another layer of drama to his reign. With her power and his cunning, Edge stayed on top, using every trick in the book to keep his championship. He became the ultimate villain, and fans loved to hate him. But even the most dominant champions face challenges. The Undertaker, who had unfinished business with Edge, came back for revenge. Their feud became one of the most intense rivalries in WWE history. It all culminated at WrestleMania 24, where Edge defended the World Heavyweight Championship against The Undertaker in the main event. For the first time, Edge was closing WrestleMania, the biggest stage in the business. The match was a classic. Edge came close to ending The Undertaker's streak, but in the end, he fell victim to Hell's Gate, tapping out in front of the world. Though he lost, that night proved that Edge had become a true main eventer, capable of delivering a 5-star performance with anyone. After WrestleMania, Edge continued to dominate the title scene, reclaiming the championship multiple times. He became synonymous with gold. Every time you turned around, he had a title around his waist. His cunning strategies earned him the nickname the Ultimate Opportunist. He didn't need brute strength to win. He used his mind, his timing, and his willingness to go further than anyone else. From 2007 to 2010, Edge ruled WWE's main event scene. He battled legends like The Undertaker, Batista, John Cena, and Jeff Hardy. Each feud brought out a new side of him. Against Hardy, he played the jealous manipulator. Against Undertaker, the vengeful rival. Against Cena, the eternal enemy. Through it all, one thing remained constant: Edge's ability to captivate. But behind the glory, the pain returned. His neck, the same one that almost ended his career years earlier, began to fail again. He kept pushing through it, determined to give fans everything he had left. And in 2011, tragedy struck once more. After defending the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 27, Edge was forced to undergo medical evaluation. The results were devastating: his spinal condition had worsened. Doctors told him that one more bump could paralyze or even kill him. On April 11, 2011, Edge walked into the ring on Monday Night Raw and announced his retirement. The crowd fell silent. He spoke from the heart, thanking the fans, his peers, and his mother. His voice trembled as he admitted that this wasn't how he wanted it to end, but it was the right thing to do. As he raised the World Heavyweight Championship one last time, tears filled the arena. After 2 decades of giving everything, the Rated R superstar was stepping away. Edge left as an 11-time world champion, a multiple-time tag team champion, and a Hall of Fame-worthy legend. He had achieved everything he ever dreamed of, and then some. His story was one of resilience, risk, and redemption. From sleeping in cars in Canada to main-eventing WrestleMania, he had lived the dream to its fullest. But as wrestling fans know, legends never truly stay gone. To be continued in Episode 3, The Return of the Rated R Superstar. Thank you for watching this episode on World Wrestlers History. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more epic wrestling stories. This is your boy signing off, and remember, legends never die, they just spear their way into history.